Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Tables, Ladders, and Chairs podcast. I'm your host, Eric, joined as always by Mike. Mike, how are you tonight?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Doing good. Another week of wrestling. I know some people in WWE not doing so good.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Well,
we're
we
gonna
knew
get
it was
to all
coming.
that. Yeah, we knew that was coming.
We knew it was coming with the merger,
Yeah.
and I'm kind of stunned by the names.
Yeah, a couple of names really surprised me. A couple didn't.
All right.
Um, One name I don't know how and I hope I'm not, foreshadowing anything when I say this because I know they're probably not done.
All right.
But I haven't seen Dana Brooks' name anywhere, and
I
God bless her. It looks like she may have survived another round at least for now.
All right.
But some interesting names. I want to start off with a name that surprised me when he first got cut, brought back, and now cut again. Somebody who I really thought, man, on the independent scene, and particularly in TNA, really had a great character, and that's Karrion Cross.
Oh, he got cut
Yeah.
because. Oh wait, I have a list of. Let me just see, because I guess more got cut.
I saw, yeah,
Because I
it's
had
funny because somebody told me a couple, and
right
he wasn't on that list, and then I saw something just before we went on saying he was.
because I see Rick Boogs, Mustafa Ali,
Yeah.
Aaliyah, Riddick Moss, Elias,
Hmm.
Top Dollar,
Yeah.
Dolph Ziggler, and Shelton Benjamin.
Okay, I hadn't seen Shelton Benjamin. See, I had seen Karrion Cross and Scarlett Bordeaux as well.
Right,
But I look, I hope I'm wrong because I have been a big fan of theirs. I know that they have not done very much,
right,
aside from a couple nice matches I thought with AJ Styles.
right.
The Drew McIntyre stuff, I really like. I don't know. I liked what they were doing with him there
Right.
because they
Because
weren't just having
Gary's
him
been
tap
on
out.
TV a lot with AJ.
Right.
I haven't seen his name pop up yet.
Okay, well, hopefully I was wrong and I just misread something.
Hopefully.
But the one, okay, then I want to go to the next one that I was going to want to talk about, which is Mustafa Ali. He's a guy who, for I feel like 10 his release,
Right.
and then finally started to get somewhat of a push, and it seemed like he was happy, and now he's getting his release.
Yeah.
And
I
what's
don't
that
know.
mean now for No Mercy?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, because right now Dominic Mysterio was slated to take on Mustafa Ali at No
Right.
Mercy for the North American Championship.
Right.
I
Ali
kind
was
of thought we were
having,
ready to see Ali win the North American title, but
that's what I thought. And then this came just like, really? Um,
yeah. I mean, because had we been predicting that show this week, I
right.
would have predicted Mustafa Ali to win the North American Championship.
Right. Because is it, yeah, because it's next Sunday, correct?
Right,
Right.
because this coming Monday, Dominic defends against Dragon Lee.
Right.
And then next Sunday is supposed to be, or it's Saturday night actually.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, September 30th.
Okay.
But yeah,
So,
and so that's where it was supposed to be Dominic versus Mustafa Ali.
right.
I would assume now that changes. Does Dragon Lee just slide into that spot? Is now their plan to have Dragon Lee win the championship on Raw and then maybe give Dominic his return match at No Mercy?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Or does he beat Dragon? Because I don't think they're going to have Dom drop this title for a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, I think you might be right.
So does
I,
he beat Dragon,
right.
and then maybe they throw a young up and comer from SmackDown against them? Kind of just like have a Raw versus SmackDown on an NXT show or
It kind
something
of has
different.
that feel of when Taz went down to ECW
Right.
to take
And
on Mike Awesome,
right.
a WWE wrestler facing a WCW wrestler at an ECW arena.
Right. It kind of has that feel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd be for it if they were going to go with another NXT star. I would say someone like Tyler Bate or Nathan Frazier could
Right.
challenge.
Someone like that would make
Yeah,
a lot of sense.
yeah,
Um,
and maybe
because
that's who they'll eventually have take it off them whenever they decide to.
right, I think so. Because both of them do deserve a North American title reign.
Yeah,
Tyler Bate was our last United Kingdom champion.
yeah, I definitely think that that Tyler Bate deserves it. It sounds like you're having Dolmageddon there.
Two of them are outside.
Oh wow.
This is just the one barking out the window like she has to.
Yeah, like if you've ever seen the Family Guy scene where Brian's in the car, hey Lois, there's another dog over there. There's another dog over there. Hey, other dog, bleep you.
Never
I don't
got
know
big in the
why that
Family
scene
Guy.
tickles me so much.
I never got big in the Family Guy. It's funny because I love South Park, but I never got
Right,
into Family Guy.
and it's funny because I've gotten really into Family Guy and I've really gone away from South Park.
Yeah,
But anyway,
as we digress.
yes, and we can certainly go down that rabbit hole. So, gosh, like this really does make me wonder. Like, I liked your idea about a SmackDown superstar challenging um, at which one, at No Mercy in
Right.
Bakersfield. And I'm not sure who would fit that bill.
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess we have to kind of wait and see who even survives this round of cuts.
Right, because a couple of them just. I don't. One thing that perplexes me is how did Dolph Ziggler get cut?
Yeah, it's funny because I actually had forgotten he still worked there.
That I think is the big thing. It's like he hasn't been on for so long,
Yeah,
but he was such a mainstay for them for years and years and years, and
right. He's so good with all the young talent. Like
put
anybody that
on
they needed to get over or get heat on, like he could do that.
right and put on match of the night.
Hmm.
So many shows back to back to back, and now it's just like him and Shelton Benjamin. See ya.
Yeah, yeah. Here I'll agree with this. Yeah, Dolph definitely hasn't been used for a couple of years. Wasted time for him. Yeah,
Yeah,
look, I'll admit they did waste his time. Look, what I always said about Dolph Ziggler, he was never the young fans, the ones that were getting the merch. He was never their favorite wrestler. He was the wrestling nerds' favorite wrestler,
exactly. Yeah,
and so you kept him around to appease the wrestling nerds.
all right.
But yeah, it is a shame they didn't do anything with him over the last couple of years. I would have loved to see. Like I always wanted to see Dolph Ziggler and Chad Gable in a tag team
Right.
were to face each other. Yeah, I'll agree with this comment as well here. With anyone on the roster could sell with it. Absolutely. Well
Yes.
said. Thanks for the comment, Rich. I certainly think that Dolph, gosh, when they stop doing this and they talk about guys that were completely underrated, Dolph
Dolph
Ziggler
Ziggler.
has to be among the first.
Definitely.
And talk about a victim of circumstance too. Remember, he was supposed to have a nice long reign as world champion, got
Right.
injured, and then re-injured during his title defense against Alberto Del Rio.
Right.
And I don't know if they changed course mid-match or what happened, because
I
all
think
of a
they have
sudden,
to.
man, that got really uncomfortable.
That match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, I'm a guy who I watched ECW back in the day. I'm used to some chair shots, although I don't really like all the blood and gut stuff. I know
Right.
we've talked about our feelings on that, but I man, that match made me as uncomfortable as any that I've watched in at least up to that time.
That was very uncomfortable thinking about it. Like that one match.
Yeah, and you think about it, man. That's after Chris Benoit,
Right.
and after they banned chair shots to the head.
Yep.
And it's like you could see Dolph was just not in good shape. And at
No.
one point, you can kind of see Del Rio going like, "What do you want me to do?
Yep.
I need some instruction here."
Yeah. Yeah. He had that like blank look in his face, like, what am I supposed to do here? And I think that's one thing that has been lost with the way wrestling is now compared to back in the day. Back in the day, they had the ability to ad lib more and they knew
Yes,
what to do in a situation like that. Now I feel like if a situation like that happens, it's like they have to wait for the referee to give them a sign from whoever's
right,
producing in the back.
right. Like one of my favorite stories is Trish and Lita when they were in Puerto Rico. That night should have been aborted early on,
All right.
but with I think their first three matches, four people got injured.
I think so.
Like,
Yeah.
it was ridiculous. And Lita tears her ACL during the match and finishes the match, but lets Trish know, look, you're gonna have to win the title because otherwise I'm gonna have to forfeit it. They're not gonna know what to do. So
Right.
you got to go over tonight. When they were supposed to have a good solid year of Trish chasing for the title,
Right.
and
And boom.
yeah, plans change.
Injuries happen.
Yep.
Yep.
Of course, earlier that night, Eugene also tore his ACL.
Yeah.
And
There was a lot that happened.
yeah, that was just a disastrous night in Puerto Rico.
That was one of the New Year's revolutions, I believe.
Yes.
So that would have to be
Say
like
05, 06?
06 or 07.
Okay.
Because 06, I think, was the Elimination Chamber match.
Right. Right. The year Triple H, like he had to vacate the world title and then won
Right.
it in the chamber.
Yeah, let's see here. Let me see, because
Because that was another one. I didn't realize that Randy Orton versus Triple H at the Royal Rumble. I always thought that Randy Orton really did suffer a concussion in the match.
yeah,
Apparently, he was just selling.
yeah,
That was the planned spot, and it was
mhm.
planned for him to kind of look that way.
Yeah, because going back, Eugene and Regal defeated Christian and Tomko the first match, and then the
Yes.
second match was Trish Lita. So it was 05, the first one.
Yeah, so the first two matches, two people tear their ACLs.
Yep. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable when that
But
happens.
that just again goes to show you how today guys, there's not as much ad libbing. There's not it's too drawn out. It's too
It is.
choreographed. Like
It's
there does need to be some room for error because it has to look realistic. Because anybody who's ever been in a fight,
uh,
it doesn't go according to plan. It's not
never.
supposed to look smooth and beautiful and like
Right.
an art form all the time.
Right. Yeah. No.
Like if it
No. But
does that too much, you become very aware that you're watching a staged event.
right. And that's what WWE I think has become very notorious at is
Yes.
just the same dance and tango back and forth. And
It's like, really? Everybody after John Cena does 3 shoulder tackles gets up and they all think, I know what I should do. I should throw a fist wildly. And
exactly.
then John ducks, picks him up, delivers that side suplex, and then right into the 5-knuckle shuffle.
Hey, it works for him.
But it's like occasionally, what's wrong with somebody after he does the 3 shoulder tackles getting up and just saying, hey, I'm going to throw him up. I'm going to throw a jab instead.
Right. That would be fun if he like did something different.
And I mean, like, and John could work into that spot better. He could still deliver the spot and just be like, move out of the way, duck in, grab him, and throw him over.
Right.
Yeah, he could still do the spot, but at least then it would feel less choreographed.
Exactly.
Um, and I am worried for the next group of guys that, because I figured in the next few months we were gonna see Carmelo Hayes, Braun Breaker, probably Dragunov,
Come up to the main roster.
all come up, and I thought it'd be nice if at least one, if not hell, all 3, could work with Dolph Ziggler, and Dolph could help get them over.
Right. Well, now I think we mentioned this.
Yeah.
I think the Miz is taking that role.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he has kind of taken that role.
We mentioned it last week. I think that's who they're going to use from now on, because the Miz really, in this stage of his
good with LA Knight, yeah.
In this stage of his career, losses don't hurt him.
Nah.
He's been around long enough. People respect him long enough. So
when he retires, when he decides he's done in the ring, he's got to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. I think
it's gonna be fun to watch him get his flowers.
It will be.
All of a sudden, everybody who hated on him for years, they're all going to sit out there sing his praises.
Yes. No, that'll be fun because we both mentioned we both like Miz.
Yeah.
He is a great performer in that company, and I definitely believe he will be a first ballot or maybe
I just wanted to leave this comment up there while you finish your thought because I want to let it breathe. I think it's right.
Right, I think so too. Part of me is wondering if he's going to be a headliner one year.
Yeah, maybe like one time when they go back to LA or if they ever go to Cleveland for a WrestleMania.
Cleveland WrestleMania.
I know.
I know.
I'm an idiot. What can I say?
Yeah, that was a good one though. I wouldn't mind letting Cleveland have a WrestleMania, but
where are we gonna put it? In the Mistake by the Lake?
I guess so. It might be cold for him.
I mean, if you think about it, they've kind of set the precedent. They've had WrestleMania in the Northeast.
Right.
They're gonna have this year's WrestleMania in the Northeast. Which I still have to find a way to get to.
Exactly.
You know what? I ought to start a GoFundMe to give people like, come on, we gotta have the TLC podcast at WrestleMania. I know you'll be there on Sunday.
Yes.
Any plans for Saturday?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
Don't know yet.
Oh yeah, Philly could still be free. Look, man, if you lived in Philly, you know when it comes to, well, basically from March to May, the temperature could really be anywhere from 90 to 9.
Exactly. It will be fun. It will be fun. I know that week's going to be a busy week around the city, and
could you imagine how much revenue that is going to generate for this city?
It's going to generate a ton. Like, I want to see where everything's going to be.
Yeah,
where everything's going to be announced.
I'm thinking I'm gonna have to hit the Powerball, and then I might be able to go to all the WrestleMania stuff.
Yeah,
Maybe.
because I'm really thinking it's um like we know Battleground's going to be the Friday before WrestleMania.
Right.
That's going to be at the 2300 arena, but you still need TNA's multiverse of matches, or excuse me, Impact. I'm still
Yeah.
calling TNA from time to
Yeah.
time.
They're always gonna be TNA.
Right.
TNA / Impact, whatever you want to call
Ring of Honor is going to be doing the Super Card of Honor,
them. Yeah.
and there, of course, AEW is going to try to stack that card up.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
I
they're going
wonder.
to try to compete with SmackDown and the Hall of Fame that night.
Right? Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what everything happens.
Which I'll
Where
be honest, I like right now not knowing any of either card. I would much rather go to Super Card of Honor
right,
than to SmackDown and the Hall of Fame.
right. And see that's the thing. Friday night, I might be at Battleground. I don't know yet.
Yeah.
That's another one. I mean, because who wouldn't want to see Tajiri and Super Crazy go at it one more time?
Dude, I'm there.
Right.
I watched them from the comfort of the ECW arena, and
Right.
anybody who's ever been there knows there was no comfort in the ECW arena. It was cold in the winter, it was hot in the summer. It was just not a pleasant arena.
No, it wasn't.
But I saw me quite a few Super Crazy Tajiri matches.
Yes.
Ooh, do you think Dolph goes to AEW with his brother? Yeah,
It wouldn't
I wouldn't
surprise.
be surprised.
There, he either goes to AEW or maybe he takes the lighter role, goes to Impact so he can do a stand-up comedy that he's doing too.
Perhaps. Yeah.
So I think one of the two. I don't see him going to New Japan or
No,
doing anything like that.
that wouldn't be smart for him. Like, especially like you said, he's got the stand up.
Right.
Like, he's gonna want to stay somewhere stateside.
Right. Yeah.
And I could definitely see Impact because it's a lighter schedule, and if you live in that Nashville area where they're located at,
Right.
then like you've got like I know obviously they've got the country music scene, but their stand up scene is really strong too.
Right.
So that's another consideration for Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah. So one of the two maybe for that. It'll be interesting to see where everyone goes from this.
You think Mustafa Ali ends up in AEW?
If he's got the right people, yeah, I don't see why not.
Yeah, I would think he'd make a lot of sense for them.
He would because he fits that high flying mold that they really like.
Right.
So,
like, I would love to see him in the ring with like Rey Fenix, who, by the way, congratulations, Rey Fenix at Grand Slam became international champion.
Yeah, I haven't seen all of Grand Slam, but I know Rey won, and I know they said Mox got injured. That's why they had to.
Yeah, well, he was definitely in bad shape. Yeah. In fact, he pinned him, and the referee could have counted and should have counted to 3, and tried to say he twitched and kicked out. I was watching. He did not kick out. John laid there flat as could be and was out cold.
Right.
And Phoenix looks at him like, well, what do I do? And so he's just like, you could see him kind of say, can you hit the same move again?
Right.
And so he does. He delivers the same move, hits it safely, and then just pins Moxley 1, 2, 3, wins the championship.
Right. Good for him.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't mind that. And then I read the spoilers for Rampage, so.
Okay. I haven't read any of the spoilers. I've seen all of Dynamite.
Right. I saw the MJF match. That's when I tuned in last night. And then I saw Kingston defeat Claudio, so
Yeah.
hopefully they've wrapped that feud up.
I would think that it just makes sense. I mean, Claudio shook his hand at the end,
Right.
let him have his moment, and
Just
now
let that
Claudio can go do whatever he's going to do next.
exactly. So it should be interesting to see what they're going to do now.
Yeah, I'm very curious. I really enjoyed the MJF Samoa Joe match.
Yes,
Man, that like again, MJF is so good.
that he
Did you
is.
see the pre-show or the pre-show, the pre-match thing, the tribute to the old Bret Hart thing with the kid with his father?
No, I didn't see that. I tuned in like at the very end, so I saw the end of the
Okay,
match.
okay. It's at the beginning of the match. Yeah, the old footage where the kid's with his father backstage, and he yells "Brett," and Brett
Yeah,
turns around, takes his glasses off. Well, the kid just yells out MJF, and MJF turns around, walks over, hands him his scarf, and leans down and whispers something in his ear and walks away. And I was thinking like it's "Tell your mom I said hi" or something like that.
something like
Um,
that.
and he turns around to the kid turns around to his dad and goes, "I'm adopted." It's like you gotta love
You gotta love it.
it.
Uh,
And what's his name? God, I can't remember his name now. The man in the mask, the announcer.
Excalibur.
Yes, Excalibur. Who just says, just belts it out. He's our scumbag.
He is a good old man in the mask.
Which, by the way, William Regal. I miss seeing him on TV.
Me too. I mean, he was amazing with Excalibur on TV and the
Yes.
commentary when he would just come out with some of the most eccentric things you've ever heard. A man say to another, and it was great.
It's funny because somebody asked me. In fact, an old co-host for the show asked me the other day at work. He's like, "Man, if you could do a podcast with any wrestler from any era, like who would you pick?" And I started thinking about like some of the guys who would have like the most stories that they could tell.
Right.
And Regal was one of the first names that came to mind.
Oh, Regal would have some excellent
Because
stories.
man, I feel like he just wouldn't give a shit. He would share every story he
Oh,
has,
absolutely. You scrumptious, scrumptious.
like or Dutch Mantel. He would be another one. I just feel like he would just share every story
He
from every
does.
territory.
He really does on his podcast.
He is awesome.
Yeah.
And of course, I'd have to one time just sit Bruce Pritchard down and really explain to him how goddamn wrong he is about ECW.
Right.
And that is the one. I love the Bruce Pritchard podcast. Like I've been saying, I've been
But you
listening to
can't badmouth ECW to Mr. ECW.
B14,
Right.
B14. Oh God, I hate him so much.
Yes.
Goddamn brother love.
I love you.
Which, by the way, I did spot that you have the brother love the
I,
action figure. I will have to make a purchase from you on that one.
okay.
Because that will have to be among because I've started to think about anybody who knows me knows in my man cave I've been trying to come up with how I'm going to decorate the wall. I want it to be different than my old one from when I lived in the city,
Right.
where I did have a collection of a number of pictures, and I want to put a lot of them up too.
Right.
And I've been in this place for about 6 months or so now, so
Okay.
now's a great time to start figuring out. Well, actually, gosh, it's probably
Right.
been like 8 months, but
Oh, you're in the city before?
yeah.
Oh, that's always fun.
Yeah, that believe me, once we got out of the city, I knew if I ever got my wife out of the city, she would never want to go back,
Right.
and I was right.
And there you go. Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But speaking of events in the city, I feel like I want to circle back and talk this is around the time that I start to think they have to be having their first discussions of what WrestleMania is going to look like.
Yes.
And so let's just imagine me and you are sitting in a room and they say, Eric, Mike, first thoughts. What do you want to do with WrestleMania? What's your WrestleMania Night 2 headline of the show?
As of last Thursday, I was really confident on Roman against Cody.
I still am. Yeah.
But now that someone made his appearance,
Yeah.
I really hope it's not. I really hope
I
it's
feel like there's got to be a power struggle going on there in WWE. There's got to be a camp of, oh, The Rock would draw the most ratings. We've been talking about this forever. It's been teased for a long time. Rock versus Roman.
right.
If it does, I don't want it to be for the championship. I want Cody to have already had his moment.
Right.
And, I still haven't heard anything mentioned for a December pay per view. Or, I'm sorry, premium live event.
Right.
And I know last year they didn't have one.
Mm-hmm.
If they were going to take the belt off Roman before WrestleMania, to me, what would make the most sense is Cody somehow gets a championship match against Roman at Starrcade, WWE Starrcade in December,
That
maybe in Atlanta. That would make the most sense to me. And then you could have Cody defend the championship against maybe LA Knight, maybe maybe Jey Uso.
maybe. I mean, there's a lot of potential. One event that I thought maybe we're going to get a title change at because it's got a lot of history.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't surprise me if they slipped it at Survivor Series.
Well, there's a stretch. I want to say, what was it, 94 to, gosh, like 94 to 99. Every year we had a new champion.
Yeah. Wouldn't surprise me if they did
Yeah.
that. Think about it. Hogan lost the belt at Survivor Series in
Yeah,
91
Undertaker. Yeah.
against Undertaker. I mean, a lot of big stars have dropped their titles at Survivor Series.
Yeah. 1994, Brett loses the championship to Bob Backlund.
Right.
95, Diesel drops the title to Brett.
Brett.
96, Shawn Michaels drops the title to Sid.
Right.
97, the famous Montreal Screwjob.
98.
98, we had a vacant world championship and The Rock won the title.
Right.
And then 99, was there? 99, Big Show beat Triple H.
That's right.
And then 2000 was the first one that they finally had a championship.
Yeah.
Because they threw us off and had Kurt Angle win the belt at No Mercy that year.
Right. Because of 9/11.
Right.
So,
well, that was in 2001.
2001, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Unforgiven.
Right.
That was Unforgiven. That's right.
And they knew it was just going to be a temporary thing. That Kurt lost the title a few weeks later.
Right. Yeah. Because I think that was even in Pittsburgh too.
Yeah.
Because it's so weird watching that. That Unforgiven now because Karen Jarrett's in the ring celebrating.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's a little weird when you go back and you see that.
It's funny you should mention Karen Jarrett there because I was listening to the Bruce Pritchard show. I decided after I caught up the last time, I decided to go back and listen from the beginning.
Right.
And I think I'm on like episode 12 or something, or 10, like whatever episode I'm on. But they're talking about Bruce Pritchard's run in TNA. And he was talking about how that Karen and Jeff had already or Karen and
Kurt.
Kurt had already broken up.
Uh,
Jeff and Karen had gotten together, and
mhm.
Bruce just goes, "Why don't we just put it out on TV?" And right away it was, "No, no, no, don't ever ask that again."
Right.
Of course, he asked again and again
And
until
again.
finally somebody was just like, "Yeah, yeah, let's do that."
Right. It happens. It
Yeah.
happens.
Well,
Sometimes it makes
unfortunately, yeah, that's just a craziness that takes place.
right.
Like, yeah, Kurt, of course, went through what he went through with alcoholism, and yeah, it really did break up, I think, his marriage
Right.
and his addiction, and that's a shame for him.
It really is.
And then, man, just you had to know the trust that they must have had that nobody was going to go into business for themselves.
Especially Jeff.
Yeah,
Because
because
let's
Kurt
face
is an Olympic gold medalist, and if
it,
he wants to, he could tie you in a freaking not the Boy Scouts wouldn't be able to get undone.
right. But that just shows the professionalism the two of them had.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's funny, like whenever I mention that about Kurt Angle, I immediately start thinking about like Shawn Michaels. Supposedly, when Shawn and Kurt were getting ready to work together at WrestleMania 21, like they're having this discussion on what they want to work, what they want to do, how they want to work the matches and stuff. And Shawn just says to him at one point, he goes, "Look, just so you know, I'm not afraid of you."
Right.
And Kurt goes, "Dude, what have you heard? I'm actually pretty easy to work with. I'm willing
Right.
to put anybody over and do whatever we got to do.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, if it breaks down, I'm not afraid of you."
Right.
Kurt's just like, "Okay, buddy.
Okay, buddy. Yeah.
Like, do you understand what I could actually do to you?"
Exactly. Exactly. One of Sean's favorite wrestlers of all time.
Kurt Angle?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
He
so
was.
happy that at Hamburg this Saturday, Kurt was there. So,
I'll tell you what, I was so bummed that I couldn't be there for the whole day.
uh,
I mean, I'm sure it was exhausting. By the end of the day, I could tell, and not only because of that, I know you had other things going on,
right.
but I could tell you guys seemed gassed by the end
Yeah,
of the day.
it was a long day, but it was
Yeah,
fun. It was
yeah.
really fun.
I'll
So,
tell you what, I like those shows at Hamburg. Like, really renewed my love of pro wrestling.
yes.
Like,
Yeah,
there's
AXW.
nothing like being
Shit.
at a live event.
No.
And it was so cool getting to meet some of the guys. Getting to meet Johnny Rouse.
Yes.
Like, that was so cool.
Yeah, that was fun. And just you
Like,
weren't there just hearing some of the stories.
yeah,
And Waffle Mania was great hearing stories from Johnny and Tony.
yeah,
Marty Jannetty was up there, and Rob Van Dam was there.
yeah. Next year, I don't care what else is going on. I'm going to Waffle Mania.
Yeah, yes. It's
Yeah,
always exciting. It's always fun. And
yeah,
they have it's nice to have that type of question and answer for the fans.
yeah. It's like that peek behind the curtain.
Yeah.
And look, we got to see a lot of things that like normally you would not be privy to. Hey, we had a couple of the guys. There's one. I'm so terrible with names, and I feel so terrible about this. But the two guys that competed in the opening match, the
Yeah.
one guy I kind of feel like the heel. He seemed like a cross between Drew McIntyre and like a Stan Hansen.
Yeah.
Like he looked like Drew McIntyre, like the beard, the long dark ponytail.
Yeah.
But his stature was that of a Stan Hansen, and I'm like, this dude is awesome.
Yeah.
And then his opponent looked, I mean, a spitting image of a young Shelton Benjamin.
Yes, he did.
Like, if it weren't for the fact that I knew where we were and that it was real life, I would be like,
Right.
dude, am I having a dream of like Drew McIntyre cloned with Stan Hansen versus Sheldon Benjamin from 2006?
Yeah, no, it really was. And that
Yeah.
was a great match they put on.
Oh my god, it was fantastic. And I got the opportunity to say something to both guys, tell them, yeah, that I appreciated their match.
Yeah,
And the most gracious of gentlemen, both of them.
they were. They
Yeah.
were. No, and all of a lot of Johnny's students are like that. From
Yeah.
hanging out all day with Johnny and Juan, just a real appreciation for the business,
Yes.
and that was great.
And again, I'm going to show how little I know about the names and stuff. But the one kid, he's got a great get. His shtick is unbelievable. But he is a complete white meat baby face, and just the thumbs up on everything.
Oh, Reggie Collins.
Yeah, Reggie Collins. Yeah, he was over there talking to Johnny Ross, and they were just
Yeah.
absolutely. You could just tell that they were having a blast,
Yeah.
and it was great. At one point when the Golden Era comes out, and I'm cheering the Golden Era, Johnny's for lack of a better term, handler, somebody with him, just turned around and was like, "You're not supposed to cheer the bad guys. You're
Right.
what's wrong with wrestling today."
Yes. But hey, some people
I
love
grew
the
up loving the
heels.
bad guys. Yeah.
Right. You've always liked the bad guys.
Look, I had a life-size poster of Darth Vader on my wall as a 4-year-old kid.
There you go.
I have been a lifelong heel.
And I can see why.
The heels are just so much more interesting characters.
Overall, they are.
Like, as a baby face, it's like, oh, you slap hands, you wave to the crowd, the thumbs up, and smiling, kissing babies.
Right.
The heels, man, you get to do whatever you want. It's so
Exactly.
awesome.
It's great.
Like, I got to say to the one heel, and I wanted to tell the Golden Era this, and I really hope they one day do this. I want to see the Golden Era come in, maybe in October, because it'll be closer to when the Eagles and Cowboys play. I want to see the Golden Era come in wearing Cowboys jerseys.
That would be great.
Right? Like, just embrace it. Get the heat.
That would be great. But I don't know if anyone would do that.
They
Because
should. They really should.
you see, the thing is, you could get some heat, but I think Hamburg's far enough away though, where it's not
Yeah.
completely Philly. I think there's some Pittsburgh mixed in. There's some other teams.
Baltimore Ravens jersey.
All right.
You
Could
could do the
do it.
Baltimore Ravens or the Cleveland Browns, because you might have some of the Baltimore fans coming up too.
Right.
Because then you really might get some Baltimore fans, cheering. Oh yeah, they're
Right.
wearing Raven stuff. If
Right.
they're
Yeah.
wearing Brown stuff, ain't nobody there wearing Brown stuff.
No. But like I know some people are Cowboys fans who are there, so who knows?
Uh,
Yeah.
well, there's always a couple,
There's always a
in
couple.
every crowd.
It's like
I have family that's Cowboys. I don't want to admit that they're family, but they're family.
it happens.
Mm-hmm.
It happens. How about them Cowboys as people?
Love you, sis.
All right.
Well, my sister, well, she's not married, but she's with a Cowboys fan, and she's adopted them as her team.
It happens.
Yeah,
America's team, so they say.
that's what they say.
That's what they say. How about them Cowboys?
Are you trying to get me to go full heel right here on the podcast?
Oh, I'm just trying a little bit. Yeah. I know how much you love that franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to urinate on that star, but
Mm-hmm. They always have an excuse to implode that team.
yeah.
Yeah. Always. Always.
Yeah, the Cowboys fans are always full of excuses. But anyway, so okay, we started off this conversation by saying
The
that if
gold.
we were locked in the room and it's what are your thoughts on the main event of WrestleMania? And we were saying I know I'd still be pounding the table for Cody Roman too.
Right. I think that's what I'd be pounding the table for. Um,
And I think it's going to come down to who do they want to appease? The
in a few
wrestling
minutes.
nerds or the casual fan?
Right.
The casual fan, most likely, even the casual one, especially the casual ones our age, remember The Rock, and it's like if they've abandoned WWE, if they like they say a lot of people like they outgrow it, like if they're maybe around our age, they're probably like, oh man, I remember when I was in high school, The Rock was the man, and yeah, and now The Rock's coming back. Oh, I'm gonna be back in for that.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. One of my friends was saying, could we get a Rock Austin 4?
I mean, I suppose we could, but
Uh,
oh, well, I definitely have to put this up here. Thank you so much for your support, Richard. From the 70s. Nice.
nice.
Very well. I'm 43 years old. I've been watching. The first show I ever watched was WrestleMania 1. And I was hooked from the get go.
Right.
And I was 4.5 years old. In that moment, it grabbed me.
Right.
And it hasn't let go.
No.
And yeah, I'm a wrestling purist. I'm a nerd. I want to see them finish the Cody Roman story.
Right. And I think they have to.
Yeah, if they don't, I'll feel cheated.
I would too.
And I have to be honest, cuz like I said, I don't have my tickets to WrestleMania yet.
Right.
Like I feel like as we get closer, if it becomes more and more obvious that that's what they're doing, like if I don't have my tickets yet by Royal Rumble, or basically by right after Christmas, like if that's not one of my Christmas presents,
Right.
it's gonna be I'm gonna wait to see who wins the Rumble, and then I'll get on StubHub and I'll fall to the mercy of whoever's selling tickets.
Right. Because I don't know
Right.
how great this is going to be either.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Like if Cody wins the Rumble, I will sell out to make sure that I get to night 2.
Right.
If it's The Rock, I think I might just go to night 1 and just be good with that and watch night 2 at home.
It'll be interesting to see what they're going to do. And especially now, I mean, Elimination Chamber is going to be in Australia, they announced today. That's pretty cool. So now we're really starting to see the road to WrestleMania forming between the Rumble and Tampa. We got dates.
Yeah.
Elimination Chamber in Perth, Australia. We have a date. Then we're going to have Mania.
Yeah, and aren't they? They're 12. Are they 12 hours ahead of us? I looked it up. I think they're 12 hours.
They might be. I was surprised. I thought maybe it's even more.
Oh wow. That's cool.
That is cool. Backlund Patara.
That is really cool. Thank you so much for the contributions tonight, Rich. You know what? I would love to include you next week. I was gonna say we've been building this for a while. I know I've been a lot busier than I was during our 100 match run that we were doing.
Right.
I want to start our 50 greatest rivalries. I want to start that next week, which means I'm gonna have to really buckle down and get myself to write my list.
Right.
I've got like 20 some listed, and yeah.
I've got my top 20 listed, and then I'm kind of just like the next 30 I'm juggling around. I'm trying to figure out
Yeah.
what I want to put where, and
Well,
even
and we've said before, like these are also living, breathing lists.
right.
Like we can even change them as we're going through them.
We could, yeah, because really, like my top five, I think I nailed it down.
Yeah.
But then,
Yeah, I think I did too. Yeah.
like I'm going through. I was asking different people, some of my um, toy friends who are also
Mhm.
wrestling fans at RetroCon. I was asking a couple people there. It's such a difficult list to put together. This one,
Yeah.
and see, to me, like there's one that I'm going to put on there that a lot of people are going to be like, "What the?"
I know I've got one that you're gonna just be like, wait, what?
Yeah. Like I got one. People are going to be like, you're going to have to be an absolute positive wrestling dork to be like, I can't believe he pulled this one out.
I look forward to it. I,
Yeah.
I I can't wait to see these lists. And Richard, I can't wait to see your list too, man. Um, so what we'll do is next week we'll start off. We'll go 50 to 41,
Okay.
and we'll work our way back each
All
week.
right. Very nice.
Nice, awesome, great to hear. Love the interactions tonight, Rich. We're normally on Wednesdays. I know we're going to try to go back to that next week.
Right.
Um, so definitely join us if you can. It would be awesome. And hit me up on social media, Rich. We'll make sure to get connected. Uh, my Twitter is oh god, what is my Twitter? erock81580, and of course,
It's
find me
not,
on Facebook. Oh
no.
yeah, I'm sorry, the X. Yeah,
No, it's just the X.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely look me up. We'll link up, and I'll make sure that you have a link to come right on and share your greatest rivalries in the comment section.
Yes.
Uh, yeah, so I appreciate your contributions tonight, Rich.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Wednesdays we're typically around 4 or 5.
Usually, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do
Okay.
Thursdays too. If
Yeah,
you
we could make it Thursdays. It doesn't matter to me,
that the
especially now that the Eagles played their one Thursday night game, so I
yeah,
won't be down there at the parking lot.
yeah, we could do Thursdays. I mean, because just
Yeah.
I soccer practice Wednesdays from the next month.
Okay. Yeah.
So
All right. Well, is it Rich? We'll keep you apprised as to which night
yes,
it is.
we shall. It'll be a good.
Um. Okay. Any final thoughts before we get out of here? As we're running right up on that hour mark, almost there.
Um, no, just kind of surprised about the news about SmackDown today too.
Oh yeah, SmackDown going to be going back to USA.
Yeah. So this leaves me with the question that we're gonna have to wait for the future. Where's
Yeah.
Raw going?
Is it staying on USA? Is it going to another broad? Like, I mean, God, wouldn't it be something if Fox bought Monday Night Raw?
Could happen.
Sure.
Could happen. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we are gonna have to wait. That's gonna be something. I wonder if Fox considers their run with WWE as a successful run.
I wonder.
Yeah, like because I mean, apparently, like yeah, I'm sure. USA paid through the nose to get SmackDown back.
Supposedly, I heard 280 million per year for 5 years.
God bless them. God bless them. And they're running like what is it, 4 or 5 different specials or something throughout the year.
Yes, on NBC, they're going to have
Yeah.
4 Saturday night primetime events.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
I wonder what name that's going to be.
I wonder what. Oh yeah. It could be like a main attraction,
Right. Could be a
big event,
main event coming back.
maybe.
Right. So,
Yeah, I heard this as well, Rich. That WWE, which
so
is why I wonder if, like, of course WWE is going to spin it as, look, we got paid a huge chunk of change to just
right,
jump back to USA.
right.
I wonder if Fox was just like, oh, well, we'll pay you something. We'll renew your contract for what you're making now. And then when USA, gave their offer, Fox was just like, best of luck.
Have fun. We'll
So,
see you.
all right, we will see you back here next week, either Wednesday or Thursday. We will let you know, and Rich will definitely let you know as well, man.
Yep. Thank you for the input this evening.
Yes, yes, it was a great time, man.
All right.
You guys have a great night. We will see you next week. Happy wrestling, everybody.